Coming up on this week's episode of Punt It Long, does anyone actually like Gary Caldwell? Popcorn out, bun it's on. It's amusing news time. A Man United legend is featured on this week's You Bellend, and the usual chat about Dunfermline Athletic Football Club. Enjoy. So, to answer the question, does anyone actually like Gary Caldwell? I think you'd struggle to find any Partick Thistle fans who do at the moment. He's came in, and I think I read a stat yesterday that said that he has the worst record of any Partick Thistle manager, and that means that he's only got one win under his belt since becoming manager. And I'll tread lightly on what I say here, because guess who the one win came against? Just Dunfermline Athletic Football Club. Of course, if you're a manager and you're not getting results, you're going to be getting a lot of criticism, just like Alan Johnson did for Dunfermline when he's been going under his recent run, and then obviously that culminated in him getting the sack. And now, Gary Caldwell obviously going under a horrendous run as Partick Thistle manager. They're looking likely to be involved in another relegation battle and possibly even going down to League One as part of a double relegation. And now, Gary Caldwell has let go Chris Erskine, a club legend who's been there for 10 years pretty much, and I don't think you'll find any Partick Thistle fan that's happy with the news. Gary Caldwell can do no right just now, and he's not even helping himself with that. He's basically not endearing himself to the fans, especially by letting go a player like Chris Erskine. And fans are now starting to really fear for players like Chris Dillon and stuff like that, because if a player like Chris Erskine can't get game time under Gary Caldwell when they're bottom of the championship, and then he goes and moves to a team that's in pushing for top 6 in the Premiership, and he's most likely to get a game there, then Partick Thistle fans are really looking at it and thinking that Gary Caldwell is a bit of a clueless. I wouldn't want to be Gary Caldwell right now. I don't think he's got the best job. I think it's a bit of a poison chalice really, because the Partick Thistle just seem to be a club that's run really badly from top to bottom, and obviously Gary Caldwell's a massive part of that right now, but they've obviously got rid of Alan Archibald, who was a long servant of the club, and that was probably the right decision at the time. But bringing in Gary Caldwell really hasn't worked, even from the first game that he had away to Alloa. He got beaten the first game, and as I said, he's only won one game, and yes, that was against Dunfermline, but he's only won one game as Partick Thistle manager, and he's been manager for a good 3 months now, I think that is, and he really needs to start doing something to start turning it around, because if he doesn't, then he'll go down as probably the worst Partick Thistle manager in terms of how he dealt with the fans, in terms of how he dealt with players that the fans really cared about, and also just in terms of results and whatever, because Partick Thistle are looking like they're doomed for the drop right now, considering they're 6 or 7 points adrift from Alloa, and that's them sitting in 8th place. So it's a tricky time to be a Partick Thistle fan. Tricky's probably not even the word. Probably devastating for most fans right now. Popcorn out, bun it's on. It's time for Paul Pogba's came into a bit of form under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as you would have probably seen by now, but has he really just got his swagger back now under Ole?
Give us as well confidence, so mentally we...
That was close.
mentally we...
Coolness personified in that video, eh? If that was coming towards me, I'd shake myself and run the other way. There's a reason why I call this segment Amusing News, and this is probably one of the most amusing things that I've seen so far when I've done this segment. Raheem Sterling sent a letter to a Man City fan called Ethan Ross, who had apparently been getting a bit of racial abuse and stuff like that in school. And Raheem basically sent him a letter of encouragement on how to deal with the stuff, and basically giving his support towards the guy. It really is one of these class gestures in football that really needs more of, and we need to kind of bring that a lot to the fore, especially with the amount of racial abuse that's been noted in recent times. Well done, Raheem. Here's a bit of popcorn on me. Why would a bit of popcorn make any difference to Raheem Sterling? You always see a very interesting headline throughout the week of football, and this one is certainly one of those. Celtic goalkeeper Craig Gordon was interviewed and said that Celtic have a unique advantage going into the Premiership title race. And for all that I do agree that Celtic are under more pressure than they have been in recent years, claiming that they have a unique advantage just because they've been through it before isn't entirely the only unique advantage they have. maybe the amount of money they've got is maybe another added incentive. You know those photos you see of young teams hanging about and then they always have one person standing next to the other and one's pointing towards the other whilst another stands there and maybe points back to his pal, and it's a bit like, you know, I'm with a lad. Well, here's Jurgen Klopp standing next to his captain, Virgil van Dijk. Is Virgil van Dijk the Liverpool captain? This is only amusing from my front, but I went pretty much a wee bit viral over the weekend there due to my reaction to Nicky Clark's goal against us at the weekend.
No, Nicky Clark! Fuck me!
Robbie Nielsen's Funhouse on Twitter actually reposted my reaction, and it got about almost 500 likes and over 100 retweets and stuff like that. And then it got me featured on Old Firm Facts 1's Scottish Football Patter of the Week. So, an interesting wee weekend for me there, and a wee bit of fame. Here's just one of those really feel-good stories, a bit like the Raheem Sterling one earlier, and it really is what amusing news is all about. Kuba Blaszczykowski is set to rejoin his old club Wisła Krakow in Poland. He'll play for free, plus he's given them €300,000 of his own money to pay wages of others as they're in trouble financially. What a top bloke. A bit like the Raheem Sterling stuff earlier, it's one of these stories that you just want to see more and more of in football, because really, it's all about sportsmanship in football, or at least it should be, and these kind of stories are the pinnacle of that. Well done, Kuba. Here's another bit of popcorn. On me. Will it make any difference to him either? And that's it. Popcorn away, bun it off. And that was... It's that time of the week again where we do the part of the episode called... You Bellend. Now, this all started with Rio Ferdinand coming out on BT Sport and putting his opinion across on Newcastle, and more importantly, your man, Mike Ashley. If you have any short change available, let me know, and I'll stick it in the tin. To keep this one short and sweet this week, Rio was of the opinion that Newcastle fans should be grateful of Mike Ashley. Sorry Rio, say that again? So, there was a backlash from that, as you would expect. He also called them a yo-yo club, 3 relegations in the last 30 years. He said they should thank Mike Ashley for spending money to get them back up to the Premiership. Well, isn't that what he's expected to do as an owner? And he also went on to say that Newcastle fans should be thankful that he got Rafa Benitez in as manager, when it was actually Rafa Benitez that approached Newcastle in the first place. Rio. Bad Bellend. And as usual here on Punt It Long, I'll go full circle and back to my team, Dunfermline. As you know for yesterday's video, that's Aidan Keena and Mallory Martin officially back to Hearts. Aidan Keena is definitely going to be getting some form of opportunities at Hearts for the rest of the season, so we are definitely without him now. And the microphones went off. There we go. But aye, there's been no kind of signs of any sort of replacement coming in as of yet. Obviously that could change by the time I upload this video, as I'm recording it at 11:30 on Wednesday morning. So, knowing Dunfermline, they'll probably go and sign someone at 4:30, and this kind of information will be null and void by the time I upload it. As you know, it's the big game this weekend, the derby. I'm extremely looking forward to it. There's going to be over 2,000 Pars fans there, and I just can't wait. I don't even really want to think about any sort of result just now. I'm just buzzing to get to the game and take in a proper Fife derby. But aye, that's it for this video guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy, please give it a like. Comment down below anything you thought. As I said, Wraith Rovers fans, what you think about this coming game this weekend, the big Fife derby. And also subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, which will be the video looking towards kind of the weekend's games and stuff like that, as the SPFL teams return in Scottish Cup action this weekend. I'll see you then. Cheers guys.